Hello everybody, welcome back to SNR. My name is Kieran McGinley. This is round 11 of the Season 2 and we are going to the Hungary ring. I'm not on my own this week though, I have a co-commentator in the box with me. It's Jack.
Hello.
So Jack, your first race commentating over SNR, you looking forward to it?
I am, and I'm looking forward to being back here with you, mate. Last time we were doing commentary together, I don't know if everyone knows, we did the SFR versus TTL, and I couldn't speak for 2 days afterwards.
You couldn't speak 2 days afterwards. I couldn't speak during the race at one point, thanks to my sore throat and everything. But let's go to the driver standings. And so at the top of the table is AJ. He's on 190 points. Darren Sinclair is second on 143, I believe that is. The Gort is in third on 118. Raikkonen fourth on 109. That's Chelsea Boy in fifth on 69 points. Geordie Davey is in sixth on 61. Heemkar is seventh on 51 points. DK is in eighth on 41. Spark Bobs is only a point behind DK in ninth. He's on 40 points. Shugem in 10th on 37 points. Rockatoni in 11th on 36. Zippo is in 12th on 30 points. Pranker in 13th on 16 points. Heffy in 14th on 9 points. Is that 9 points? Or is it 8 points? I think it's 9 points. I'm going to go with 9 points. Rocket in 15th on 8 points. Captain Pants in 16th on 6 points. Jensen in 17th on 2 points. Malachi on 1 point puts him in 18th. And White Samba yet to score a point this season.
Ooh. You don't want to hear a driver saying that they haven't scored any points, do you?
Not past the halfway mark, but I'm sure White Samba can turn his form around today. We move on to the constructors' standings then. McLaren are at the top on 259. Red Bull are in second on 185. Ferrari third on 151. Sauber are in fourth on 109. Renault in fifth on 81. Toro Rosso in sixth on 76. Force India in seventh on 55. Williams are in eighth on 47. Mercedes in ninth on 38. And Haas at the bottom with 2 points to their name.
Oh, wow. Poor Haas.
Poor Haas, but yes, we're looking at the Hungary ring. 14 corners, first race in 1986, often called Monaco without the barriers. Jack, you must have raced at Monaco a couple of times. What can you expect going into this race?
At Monaco or at Hungary? Which one?
Let's go with Hungary, I guess. Did I say Monaco?
You said Monaco a second time. I actually made my league racing debut at Hungary back on 2016. I got lapped on the final lap, but I followed the lead around, and it was brilliant to follow him around. It's never been a strong track for me. I know there's some drivers out there who are really strong around here, and I really do enjoy the track. But I think it's going to be an interesting race to see who makes it. You don't need to bring a lot of fuel, because there's only one real overtaking spot, and that's turn 1. Possibly into the hairpin after turn 1, but it's going to be a tough old race.
Yes, it will be. And there is the overtaking point coming into turn 12, that right-hander where in 2017 we saw Kimi Räikkönen go full lock, opposite lock, trying to overtake going through there. That is a possibility, but yeah, not advised overtaking. As you said, turn 1 is the best place to do all your overtaking. 2 DRS zones along the start-finish straight, and just after turn 1, heading down into turn 2. Should be an interesting one then, Jack.
Yeah, it certainly should. And something we should probably bring up is that the fact that we're running full qualifying and not short qualifying, I believe you used to run.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's on the live stream. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, I've just seen a message. Sorry, mate. Trials and tribulations as the league owner comes in.
It's not league racing if one thing doesn't go wrong, you know?
Oh, they should probably wait for us. It's like TTL versus SFR. That was, we only just got the stream started by the time we were halfway on the track, so.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's not league racing if at least one thing doesn't go wrong. Server issues, you have a lot of things that could just happen. Desyncs in this game especially.
This game is truly awful.
It's not truly awful. It's just the setups are, very biased towards a one front wing sort of style of setup. I mean, if you call that flawed, then go for it.
To be honest, I believe that this game just isn't working in general. For 2 races in a row in a previous league that I've raced in, one person got disconnected and they were running in a good position, actually behind me. So 1, I lost a load of pressure, but 2, I lost the enjoyment of racing. So it was a bit annoying.
Yes, we've got 35 laps then to do battle here. The most wins by any driver, Jack, around the Hungary ring?
I think it's Seb, isn't it?
It's not. It's Lewis Hamilton. He's had 5 wins around here. McLaren are top with 11 wins around here. The pole position lap in 2017 was a 1:16.2. How close do you reckon we could get to that today then, Jack?
I don't know. It was done by a fully powered Ferrari, being given special treatment because obviously it's Sebastian Vettel. Skip through that.
Yeah, you don't want to get
3
copyright
tenths.
strike.
3 tenths. That a good bet?
3 tenths. What, a 1:16.5, you reckon?
I reckon that could be close. Top drivers could get there.
Yeah, well, we've got AJ and Darren Sinclair in the lobby, so anything's possible with those two. Who's your money on? You've never seen this. You've never seen this league before, then, Jack. Who's your money on?
I gotta play it safe. I'm gonna have to go with Darren Sinclair because I saw how he drove in the League versus League that Speedforce put up, and I think that Darren Sinclair might be able to put a name for himself, and he is second in the championship.
He is indeed, yeah. It's not been his season so far, but he's had a good couple of results elsewhere in other leagues, so he'll be hoping to take forward that momentum and keep going as hard as he can.
Well, there's movement lower down in the pit lane. Someone's just left.
Yes, and we'll try and find out who that is. That's Malachi. First
and
man
a Red Bull
track.
too. And I think there's a Mercedes, the GN Rocket Queen, is coming out, who's using my number. Why does everyone like my number?
It's a good number, apparently.
It's tattooed on me.
Yeah,
I think I have a little bit more right over it.
So we've been told that today, in Q1, as we're running full qualifying today, Shug M, Captain Pants and White Samba all have qualifying bans. So that's why they'll be retiring from the session. And, well, we're going to see then, because apparently Q1 is going to be treated like a practice session. And we'll see how many drivers get knocked out from there. Now, I'm thinking with 16 drivers, 3 are going to be eliminated from Q1, 3 from Q2, so it should all work out.
I don't want to do maths. I'm not doing maths when it comes to this. Last time I did maths, when it comes to this, I stated that SFR won the League versus League, and it didn't work out that way. What am I doing?
Well, one driver making a debut today is the Red Bull of Orchard David, who is racing as a reserve, I believe. Who's getting his chance now to see what he can do at a track that's notoriously difficult for overtaking.
It certainly is. Track position is going to be a big thing as Pranker has joined the session. No idea who that is. Though I don't know who any of these drivers are. Overtaking is going to be...
driver.
He is? Brilliant. Overtaking is most certainly going to be difficult at this track, but not impossible. You can make a move, and it isn't just bump and scratch out the way. You're going to have to work for the move.
Yes, absolutely. Let's have a ride on board with Malachi here, who should be the first person to set a lap time. We head into that left-right chicane. Those sleeping policemen on the edges of that curb can really, really be a detriment to your lap time. I've hit those many times. I don't know about you, Jack, but how they throw the car off balance there.
Most certainly. I have spent a lot of time in walls around different racetracks. I believe this track and Monaco are pretty close with where I've spent the most time there. Yeah. F1 teams won't have me anymore because of the bills.
Well, Malachi then heading around the last corner, turn 14. And let's see what sort of banker lap he can put down then. Opens that DRS, heads towards the line, 1:21.1. And we'll see what that lap time can do later on.
I mean, on a green track, that's not a bad lap. He clearly wasn't pushing it.
Not at all. Let's see who's close to the end of their laps as well. You said it was a Mercedes, and Hinkar comes across the line, 120.006 or 007. The game can't quite decide there, but it puts him top anyway.
Jensen 2 coming around with a 121.3. Not bad lap time. I'm probably slower than that. Oh, sector 2 and 3, there's been an incident. No, that won't work.
We're riding with AJ and Darren Sinclair. Darren Sinclair running on some soft tyres. There's Rocketoni, a 119.4, which puts him at the top of the table.
I was just looking at GM Rocket Queen, and they just jumped off track. Not unbeknownst why, probably because there was a fast car on their way around. They wanted to get out of the way. But dramatically jumping off track as they did would have caused a little bit of wear to their tyres. So I'd suggest not to do that, but at the same time, it's good that they made an effort to get out of the way.
AJ there going top, 118.7, as his teammate Chelsea Boy puts down a 119.7, almost a second slower than his teammate. But of course, this is only Q1, and it's just important to get into the next round. Darren Sinclair on some soft tyres, 119.6.
I've got to just point out, as most people who know about qualifying will do, all drivers will get through to Q1, Q2 even, as we only have 16 races. But yeah, we're definitely going to have a good Q2, because that will be when they're actually running the actual tyres, or the actual speed that they want to run.
Orchard David there showing a bit of pace there, 118.7, as puts himself at the top. Gort 119.2. Puts him into third place.
Interesting thing about that is how many drivers are actually going to treat this like a practice session, as in a Friday session, or who's going to run this as a Saturday session and actually like pump out the lap times and test the qualifying standards with the car. But with Parc Fermé on, they can't do anything to change the setups.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say they would focus just on the qualifying for now. Then AJ definitely treating it as a racing practice session. Sets another lap, 118.5. Getting multiple laps on those tyres. I suppose we'll never have to use them again after this session, but there we go. Puts them at the top for now.
Just going to turn the telemetry off because I'm bored of seeing that in the corner. I don't know why I put it on in general in my stream. I'm just looking at Spark right now. He's on the medium tyres. His back end seems to be a little bit happy a few times.
Yeah, he's 2/10 up through sector 2 though, so we'll see what this lap time can do. He's a 121.0 right now on a similar pace with Heimkarl on 2 steps harder tyres. So that's not bad pace then.
No, it's certainly not. It's depending on if Carl did put a good lap together, or if he just put together a scruffy lap.
Well, he's put together a good lap there. Instead of 120.6, which puts him further up the table. Was that, or
no, same position, but just 6/10 faster, just 6/10 slower than his closest rival.
Well, that's not bad pace at all, then, is it?
Oh, sector
Yellow
2.
flags in sector 2, and that's Raikkonen doing a couple of donuts there. I believe that's the exit of turn 5. Is that?
No idea. I'll have to pop down and have a look.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh,
that's bloody hell! Pardon my French. Came on track. Clearly didn't see what was happening. He's not grasped the fact that he's got dirt in his tyres. Came on track and almost took out the Gort in the Ferrari.
Well, a lucky escape there. But Raikkonen there does have front wing damage, so he'll just be limping back to the pits.
The unfortunate thing is that I caught it on stream as well.
Another yellow flag in sector 2 there.
Seems people are getting caught out quite a bit by sector 2 today.
Yeah, that looked like Chelsea Boy just having a little bit of a moment there.
McLaren was going slow though, as Malachi came round him. I think that might have been Chelsea Boy, yeah.
Yes, it was. So we've got a couple of drivers doing long stints here.
No, he's not. He's trying to create a gap. That's what he's trying to do. Oof. That's something to bring up. Dirt on your tyres. Do you feel that with the bigger tyres on the car, I know bigger tyres, we've had these tyres now for nearly 2 years, but do you still feel that you struggle to get the dirt off the tyres?
At some tracks, definitely. I think Italy is definitely one of those where you can struggle to get the tyres off purely because it's mainly all straights. There's not really an opportunity where you can just scrub off the tyre.
Yeah. You can't just like rag the tyre around, can you? That's the difficulty with it.
And I suppose once you get dirt on those tyres, when you're heading around a track as twisty and as tight as Hungary, you're going to notice that the back end's going to be stepping out all the time.
Yeah, most definitely.
So the Gort then looks like he's running similar to Race Sims on some worn tyres. He sets a 120 there.
I tell you what, I've just had a message in the live stream chat from Chopper, who's a good friend of mine. He's just with a thinky emoji. Why is everyone putting on super soft tyres in Q1 versus they could save these tyres and use them in a race?
That's very true, but it could be just Corley Sims. They're using this as the Saturday practice session, like you said earlier, Jack. And they may be just seeing maybe going into rich mix and not the absolute maximum mix as Rocket gets a little bit sideways there. It could be just a little bit of sandbagging maybe from other drivers, but fair point there.
Tell you what, I don't know if Rocket hasn't got any dirt on their tyres, but yet still sliding around quite a bit.
Could be to do with the ballast, or it could be something to do with the ride height, maybe bottoming out. Maybe it's too low.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the features of this game is that if you run a one front wing and maybe run 8 or 9, you can put all the ballast to the rear and off you go.
Yeah, what another beautiful game made by Codemasters. Just something to bring up in if you're running a full sim setup, which I don't suppose most drivers who in these league racing environments would do, as in the ones with like hydraulics that move you around and that, bottoming out must feel awful in one of those.
You've got to say, haven't you? If you're bottoming out, just especially when you're coming up before a corner, you just lose all that downforce, all that grip. And yeah, just the car steps away from you. It mustn't be a nice feeling at all. As Rocket not getting the rear traction coming out of turn 5 there.
I just switched off them as well.
But of course, as you said, Jack, Parc Ferme is in effect. So if the drivers aren't happy with their car in this session, well, tough luck. That's the setup they're going to have to use, unless they can change a little bit of the front wing. I don't know how that's going to affect the rear traction, if I'm totally honest.
Well, the ballast is fixed from now, so they can change the front wing as much as they want, but that'll just increase your turning. You won't get out from changing your front wing with your rear downforce.
Having a look at Chelsea boy then.
I was just about to jump onto him actually.
Yeah, great minds think alike then, Jack.
Or insane ones, one of the two.
I'd like to think great minds as Raikkonen there, setting a 1:19.4, puts him up into 6th place.
Chelsea's very controlled, isn't he? Coming through the final couple of corners. I tend to go a lot wider through the final couple of corners.
Well, especially in qualifying, just to get yourself that little bit of couple of kilometres per hour down the main straight.
Yeah, the slingshot motive.
Absolutely. So we should be in line for a good race then. So we've got 5 minutes left of this first qualifying session, which is, I think, being treated more like a practice session. But we will see what happens from here on in then. AJ currently top on a 1:18.5, Orchard David second, and Rocket Tony there is in 3rd place.
I mean, I don't know much about this league, but from those times, if they were done on max fuel, it can only get better.
Yes, I think maybe they're running in rich revs, the Mix 3. I don't think, looking at those times, you're right. I think cars are starting to just hold back and not reveal their true pace until maybe Q2.
Even then, Q2 is going to be even more difficult because we've got other drivers retiring if they make it through, and trying to remember who's going to actually come everywhere. Zippo came in and mentioned the rules before the thing, and I still don't understand them.
Well, we've got Shug M, Captain Pants, and White Samba, who have qualifying bans. Shug M not racing tonight, so that means we have Captain Pants and White Samba, who will not be setting a lap time. Now, we're not entirely sure whether the game works out how many cars there are and takes out the bottom 3 each time, which leaves the top 10, or whether it will just do the 5 and 5. If it does the 5 and 5, White Samba is not going to make it into the next qualifying session. Captain Pants will have to retire from the session again. They take out the 3 every time, then Heffy's in a bit of trouble.
Well, yeah. Oh well.
Or the bottom 3, I should say, not the top 3. If it took out the top 3 every time, we'd get a very different qualifying session.
See, now we don't know. That would be cool in F1. Have all the fast guys go out in Q1. Slow guys at the top, because that'd be just like that'd be just like basically like Le Mans, where they're all having to catch up. I don't know where I was going with this, to be honest.
I thought I'd let you go and see what happened with it, but Chelsea boy improving his lap time, stays 7th for now, 1:19.4. 2 minutes 40 of the session left. Let's jump on to AJ, Chelsea boy's teammate, who's going out once again. And some of the problem, it's nice that they have these super soft and medium graphics so that we know what tyres people are on, but it would help to know if they were on used sets or new sets. It seemed a bit of an odd decision to go out on a new set, but of course I'm not racing tonight, so I know nothing.
Well, I haven't done full qualifying in a long time. I just think, hopefully in the next game, with obviously the rise of esports and all of that in the F1 games, I think that will improve the multiplayer, the customizability, and the whole spectator thing. I think even the commentators at Abu Dhabi were struggling.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it did show that the game still needs a bit of work in the spectator mode, but it's getting there, that's for sure. Little by little.
Yeah, I mean, when a load of fans, including myself, moan to the point that we need a spectator cam, they put it in, I reckon we ought to moan a little bit more to be able to put our numbers on the top of the helmets.
I think putting numbers on the top of helmets is to do with copyright more than just customization. That's the problem that this game suffers with sometimes. I'm amazed that it uses the official
FOM logo. Ooh,
intro
AJ went off.
Of FOM, and of course because it's official and it's the actual video, all the videos get taken down. So
yeah, I think it'd be nice before. if they had the F1 song, the new F1 song they come up with. What's his name? Brian Tyler came up with. I quite like that song. It'd be nice if they had that in the next game, but had it copyrighted, but to be allowed to be used on if it was to do with the game.
Yeah.
Who knows? Oh dear, only got 30 seconds left of the session.
That's flown by, hasn't it?
Has Raikkonen? Oh, hello, is he in the wall?
No, he's in the pits.
Ah, my excitement level dwindles.
It really did. It really peaked there.
I like to see crashes.
Then I've got
normally
another
I cause them.
motorsport that might be good for you.
Normally I'm causing crashes, let alone being involved in them. Tell you what, my last league race round here, I broke my wing on, I think, the just before the penultimate corner. Then went to pit and I missed the pit lane, had to go round again.
Oh dear.
Oh no, only JB, only JB.
Only JB. Of course, not Jensen Button. He wouldn't do a thing like that, will he? Malachi here.
Well,
Activating the low fuel mode as he's trying to limp his way back to the pits. The only driver left on track then is AJ. And at the moment, he looks like he's that looked like 3/10 down to me.
I didn't see, to be honest. I was too busy looking at his helmet. Gotta say, yellow with an orange car is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I get called out with orange helmets in some cars in this game, but
yeah, but orange
AJ
helmets
now
look nice in general.
the line and finishes the session. And the reason why we haven't had this session end is because Malachi hasn't retired because he didn't take the checkered flag.
Oh dear.
So,
he can retire, I think. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Speak of the devil. So that is Q1 done, and we're about to see how this knockout system works with 16 drivers.
Trial by fire.
And let's have a scroll down. And so, yeah, so it does eliminate the 5 drivers, which means White Samba can't take part in Q2. Captain Pants will have to retire from the session. So, normal service resumes then as we head to Q2.
It is going to be an interesting session. I just want to draw our attention to race director. Mainly exceeding track limits, mainly because it might have been a green track, but also with the idea of we might, oh dear, as I open a few less, there might have been a few corners with a less grip than you'd expect coming into this session.
And coming into this session, Q2 is where the qualifying begins. Captain Pants retiring from the session immediately, so we will have 4 drivers knocked out from this session.
4 drivers.
But who are they going to be? Now, of course, Q2 rules apply. The tyres you qualify on this session will be the ones you start on in the race if you make it to Q3.
So I think that's Malachi coming out, but Invader Zippo coming out on the soft tyres.
Yeah, looking to try and just get a top 10 time and get himself into Q3. The Gort working a similar strategy. He's still in the garage at the moment. The telemetry shows he's on some soft tyres.
I mean, what would you do in this situation?
I would, you get time to do 2 runs, so I would say go for a first run as a soft tyre stint, and then come back to the pits, and if you're not comfortable with your lap time or how it went, then you do the super soft run.
Okay. The question I have just about Q3, and I'll probably bring this up again once we get into Q3, but short qualifying, when like most leagues in the racing community run short qualifying, and yet they swapped short qualifying for this game from the 18 minutes that you have in Q1 to the 12 minutes in Q3. Got any problem with that? Well, it's not even 12 minutes. It feels like 10 minutes half the time.
Yeah, I think short qualifying is basically just a Q3, but you start on the tyres you qualify on if you qualify in that top 10. So I don't really have a problem with it, but you know, it's just 2 runs and a bit of a gap in the middle you have to fill. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, if you mess up the timings though, it all goes wrong. It's an awful angle for me.
So Malachi then, first person out on track, keen to set a lap time down in some clear air.
I'm following on board with Zippo.
You're running on board with Zippo. Maybe I should do the same. There we are. Bit of consistency between the live stream and the recorded video.
I was going to say that if you ran on board with Malachi, you could have had oh, that's a super soft run. This is a soft run.
Yeah, well, we could have, but
you swap now. Can't change that.
Yeah, that's it now. I've made
too lazy to press a few buttons.
Absolutely. Hinkle there on some soft tyres, apparently out on track, but on super softs on the telemetry. Oh, no, because it was on best and... Oh, that's really confusing. Anyway, a lot of drivers...
Have I got on best? I've got currently fitted. Right, okay.
A lot of drivers here on some soft tyres, so this is going to be interesting. Not all of them could make it into the top 10, or maybe they could. Who knows, really? A lot of drivers going on this soft stint strategy.
It is funny that all of the tyre on our heads-up display right now looks exactly like Invader's helmet. Wow, that's quick.
119.9 on some soft tyres.
That was a good lap, and he started to lose the rear end a few times. So wow, Rocket 1:18.6 or Rocket. Wait, what?
Rockatoni, yes.
Rockatoni, right.
This is your crash course in pronouncing names.
Hold on, let me get the beer.
Let's have a look at someone who is close to the line. That's Rocket. He sets a 1:19.6.
Imcar's coming towards the penultimate corner.
Let's ride on board with him then. He's coming through turn 13, I believe this is.
It should be, because this is turn 14.
Yeah, this is 14 now. As Imcar heads towards the line. What's this lap time going to be like? It's a 1:20.1. And it puts him into 5th place, ahead of Spark Bobster.
And then just drop down behind someone else. I think Raikkonen just set a very quick lap time on the soft tyres.
Yeah, the Gort set 1:19.1. So, well, this soft stint at the moment is working. But we've yet to see any of the other drivers set a lap time on some super softs. And
Sector 1.
In Sector 2. Was that Sector 1?
Sector 1. I'm on board right now with Darren, who's coming around to set his first laps on the super soft tyres. I believe he's in 2nd place in the championship, so we should see how he's doing. He's still on an out lap, so I'm just going to ride with him for the rest of his out lap and his lap. I just want to see how he does versus the other drivers on the super soft tyres.
Absolutely. Well, Darren Sinclair has this knack of pulling out a couple of tenths of a second when he really needs them. So it's a real exciting thing to watch when you're in a qualifying session with Darren Sinclair. That's for sure. It rounds the final corner. Then he's going to go for it now.
Certainly is. I'm going to put my my UI back on because I turned it off for the last couple of corners to try and get some nice pictures, but didn't really get a very nice one.
Heffy also on a lap. Well, sorry, he's coming around the final few corners to start a lap, as is Jensen, and AJ won't be too far behind. He's just come out of the pits now, and they're starting to warm up those tyres.
Darren Sinclair's Sector 1 time was a 28.1 for his Sector 1 time, which I think is pretty quick. I can't remember. Yeah, I haven't done this in a long time.
Well, that's another problem with the spectator cam, is we don't really know. There's not like a delta to stick to. There's not like the delta of the fastest placed person, which would be nice. It's just sort of, here it is, a 28.1. That's about it, though.
We could have a new graphics on the Halos next season. That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah. And, I'm sort of over like the hating the Halos right now. I'm sort of over it. I think they look all right now.
They do. As Darren Sinclair then comes around turn 14. And what lap time can he set on a set of super soft tyres heading towards the line now?
1:19.0 or 1:18.7.
1:18.7. Where did you get 1:19.0 from?
I don't know, I'm just making up numbers today. I'm half asleep still. I was asleep about 10 minutes before we started doing this. Sector 2 yellow flags. Tell you what would be cool.
That's Heffy. Heffy's off the track.
There you are.
As he rejoins now, that is coming.
Oh, he's had a spin. He's been in the gravel.
Yeah.
Tyres are knackered.
On his tyres. Yeah, so that's a quality lap abandoned then. We have Jensen then.
Going again. Oh, good catch. Yeah, he's pitting
Jensen
too.
Abandons his lap. So AJ, I believe, is on a flying lap as he's coming up towards Darren Sinclair. As Darren Sinclair gets right off the track to let him through.
That's good from Darren. Won't do his tyres any good, but still a good move.
Yeah, especially good tyres he could be starting the race on.
Yeah, a few drivers cutting the corner that AJ just went over a bit. No, not cutting it really. Still kept 2 wheels on the track, but putting a little bit of dirt on that front right tyre. It's just, that's brave of them to do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. AJ then round the final corner, and where will he put himself? Runs very wide.
Very wide.
Very wide there. But 1:18.7, and pretty much matches Darren Sinclair then. puts himself into 3rd place.
Malachi is on a lap by the looks of it. He's about to finish one. Oh, or is he? What went on there?
Well, that was an odd one. Did he miss his braking zone, or was he trying to get out of the way of a driver?
Oh, his wing's gone, but now it's back. What? Of this game. It's either he was getting out of the way, or he locked his rears and just went straight on and managed to keep it from spinning.
Well, let's hope he doesn't have any front wing damage then. He'll come across the line to start and lap, and they'll be hoping to improve on 12th place. So, drivers in the drop zone at the moment, Spark Bobster, Malachi, Heffy, and Jensen. Captain, of course, has that qualifying ban.
By the looks of it, there is no front wing damage on this Toro Rosso. He managed to get it slowed down enough that he just nudged the wall.
Yeah. Well, that's good then. That's good to see. So we'll see if Malachi can get himself out of the drop zone. And it's always difficult to work out, but he needs to find more than a second, or a second, to get into that top 10. So it's a big ask for Malachi, but is he up to the task? Jensen,
he's in the wall.
Oh, he is in the
tyres
wall
off.
And Jensen then will be starting from P15. He's out of this qualifying session.
That's not gone well at all for him, has it?
Well, he must have lost it coming through turn 3 and just never recovered.
Well, he was on an out lap as well. So he'd only just come out. Oof.
Malachi then, meanwhile, on board with him, heading towards the final corner. Now, what can he do then? Can he get himself out of the drop zone? As Orchard David there, someone's gone quicker and put Hinkal into the drop zone. Malachi can't go quicker. In fact, he lost 9/10 on that lap.
He did. Heffy now coming into the pits. Now's the natural time for people to come in and change tyres to go out for those last 2 runs.
Absolutely. Hinkal then coming out of the pits then. He's on a set of soft tyres again, so he needs to find, what is that? Well, it's less than a 10th he is outside of the drop zone, or inside the drop zone, I should say.
He is, but he's got Heffy and Malachi who are going to come out on super softs, and if they nail the lap, he's just going to drop.
Absolutely, but Malachi seems to be struggling.
He
he's
does.
Through 6 and 7 now.
One ball with Spark right now, and he's had a pretty no, I don't know, not much of a stellar lap, but it looks clean. He's a second and a half down, so I assume he's pitting at this lap. But Orchid David coming onto his lap. Wow, this is his debut race as well, and he's already pretty stable himself in the top 10, hasn't he?
Yeah, the only thing I can't decide is it Orchard or Orchid.
I'm going to go with the flower and go Orchid.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the other version, Orchard. And well, one of us has to be right, surely.
Yeah, it's like Haas or Haas. Which one?
Well, it has 2 A's, so I would assume Haas, but
there's no R.
Yeah, the English language is a funny one, though, Jack. You've got to remember that.
Yeah. I to be honest, I basically just called it out because I wanted to call my team in one of my races Kiss My Haas. So it's just always going to be Haas to me. Whoop! I just punched my controller.
That's always a good sign. As Malachi going on to another lap, but he is down in Sector 1. Hinkal, meanwhile.
That's
heading
good there.
into turn 2.
Sorry, Rocket just got out the way from Orchid David. Seemed that they were going to be an issue and they had good spatial awareness. They knew who was coming next. Opening DRS. I'm expecting. Oh, that's a rocket lap.
That is 118.2, and well, he's definitely got himself out of the danger zone there.
Well, I think he'll be satisfied if he's. I think he'll pit this lap, save those tyres, and sit in the pits and watch.
Wide. Sorry about that, going through turn 8, I believe that was. Hinkal running wide, and he's still trying to fly here, as he now needs to find around 0.2 of a second.
He's still wide there as well, isn't he?
Again.
God,
Yeah.
one Red Bull going fastest, one out of the top 10. Who does these two sound like?
Well, Raikkonen's coming out onto track, as is AJ. They've already set a lap on some soft tyres. Imco coming towards the line and is 1.2 down.
That's not good. Now, see, he can't get into the pits now and change because we've only got a minute and 20 seconds left. He's essentially...
so he has to stick to it.
Yeah, he can come out and do one lap. Like Spark and AJ who are coming out will have one lap, but they're not going to get. They're not nearly going to have 2 runs like I think Orchid David would have had if he had kept going, or definitely how Rocket Queen's going to have.
Well, Heffy here is a man in danger. Currently 12th place in the drop zone.
Oh, Rocket Queen. 5 tenths they found that lap, jumping from I think that was 8th place to 5th. It's well done, that is. I think that's just
Rocket
secured
Queen.
there. I think from 5th upwards is secured. That's very close.
From 6th upwards, I would say is safe. But yeah, well, no one's really safe. But all I know is Spark Bobster here, the man in 10th place, needs to set that down a good lap here if he wants to get into Q3. And it looks like he's just about going to make the line, and he should be then the last person on a flying lap then, if he's timed that right.
Well, I'm on board with Kimmy. Kimmy's got 15 seconds to get around the penultimate corner and the final corner. He might Alonso this.
I think Raikkonen is actually on a flying lap, so
he is as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, he won't. He timed it wrong. Only just. That puts him second. Heffy has retired though.
So Heffy, oh, he's crashed out.
Oh, really? Where? There you are.
And he's taken too much curb. Yeah, he's taken too much curb there.
That's a red flag. Thank God it's at the end of the session. That would have been a red flag if it had been out for F1.
Team Carl then riding on board. Man in danger. He's 3 tenths up through sector 1 so far. Spark Bobster's the other person. Invader Zippo took the checkered flag.
Oh, very wide.
He's not setting another lap.
Himcar going very wide there.
Still 3 tenths up through sector 2.
Only 1 tenth through sector 2 actually.
Oh, it came up as 3 tenths on my one.
I had 1.67 tenths.
Spark Bobster abandons the lap. So this is Himcar's chance now to get into Q2.
If he does it, he's the only driver on the softs, I think.
That's
no, he's not.
Fitted.
He doesn't do it. He doesn't do
it.
it. He improved, but not enough.
Himcar, Heffy, Malachi, Captain Pants and Jensen knocked out of qualifying, and Himcar lost out there by 0.06 of a second.
And obviously Heffer and Jensen both crashing out, just pushing too hard, too early, and just taking it out, or in Heffer's case, pushing too hard, too late. So
then we've got an interesting lineup then. The top 6 qualified their best lap time on the super soft tyre, 7th through 10th, those 4 guys on the soft tyre. So let's see what they can do in Q3 and really capitalise on their alternate strategy now.
Certainly is. And if you look, the man making his debut is in P1 right now.
Yeah, going into Q3, that'll give him a boost of confidence, but I'm not entirely sure if Darren Sinclair and AJ were running in party mode there. We'll have to wait and see.
Spark is just retired, and once Rocket Queen retires, they'll be all ready to go to Q3. But if Rocket Queen might not know to retire, so we're not sure.
Well, if he doesn't, we've got about 40 seconds left of this session. So we can just talk. Why not?
Oh, well, it's what we're paid to do, isn't it? Wait, we are getting paid for this.
Paid? You're getting paid. Oh dear, that was terrible. That was a terrible joke, Jack.
Well, oh god, wait, where are the comedy police?
They're knocking on your door, I think.
No, they came for me first, did they? You took my joke and rolled with it.
Oh dear.
See, Zippo said that he wanted to get into this. This is what he's created.
Well, Orchard David then, taking that form into Q3 then. Like I said, the Gort, Chelsea Boy, Zippo and Spark Bobster all on soft tyres. Sets up a very interesting Q3.
It does. And the question is, something we haven't brought up, we don't know the weather for this race.
Ah, you're absolutely right. We don't know the weather.
I
Well,
was just
that should
looking to
be...
see if there was any. I've taken to looking at the race director to look to see if there's any 5-place grid penalties you should know about, and I can tell you now there is not right now.
Yeah, just a couple of invalidated laps, so nothing too severe. Q3 then.
Looking bright and sunny from where we are, but it could be a very different story coming into the race.
Absolutely. Well, 12 minutes, 10 drivers, and all to do then, as it is the battle for pole position.
Top 10 shootout.
Let's get all of this lovely lap data out then. We'll have a look and see who's the first to blink, who will go out on track first.
Yeah, at least I hear an engine firing up. I believe it's a Ferrari. I'm going to take off my UI just a second.
Or it could be Darren Sinclair.
Oh, there's a Mercedes. No, there's someone further down. It's a McLaren. No, it's a Toro Rosso first. So that's Malachi, isn't it?
No, Malachi got knocked out, remember? It's Rockatoni heading out.
Half asleep. Half asleep. What?
Half asleep. Absolutely.
Oh, this is
Would
what
I
I
have it
get.
any other way? Probably not.
Tell you what, I haven't looked at Rockatoni, so I didn't see his helmet for a while.
So then, I've never commentated over a full qualifying, so I hope we're doing a good job. If you're still entertained, that's one part of the job done.
My God, he's a Spartan. Are you not entertained?
Well, are you not entertained? I really hope you are.
Oh God. We're just ripping into each other, to be honest. Where there's nothing on track, we just rip into each other and take the piss out of each other. Pardon my French.
Oh, absolutely. But we'll see now. Rockatoni is the first person out on track, and as he heads through the twisty section of, I believe that's 8, 9, 10, and 11, heading now down towards turn 12, and we'll see what the Toro Rosso can do.
It's a nice looking car, last year's Toro Rosso.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I tell you what, the Force Indias, we've got yellow flags in sector 2. That could be
Car letting people through by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looked like Rocket Ring just letting people through there. And Rockatoni, first person then on a flying lap.
Very well behaved coming into turn 1. The car not skating around enough. Open DRS nice and early. Seems that he's just got the right, he knows where to nail the lap and where not to nail the lap. Little flick at the back end there though.
That could be just the connection. That does happen sometimes, but if that was a flick out, then fair play. He's very confident with the car then. Noticing Orchid, David and AJ not coming out just yet. Maybe they're only going for one run. As I say that, there's activity at the McLaren garage. It's AJ coming onto the track.
The question is how many tyres they have left and how many sets they used in Q1. They might have messed up in Q1, used too many sets, and now they don't have any fresh sets.
Well, you do have the mandatory tyre coming into Q3, so that's set aside until you get to Q3.
Oh yes, Mr. I know everything about qualifying.
That's what I'm supposed to do, isn't it?
I know nothing about qualifying. I know about a race, and that's it. I know about what happens when a car crashes. First lap, 1:18.0. Wow, is that the fastest lap we've seen today?
That is indeed by around about a tenth of a second. This is when the engine modes start to get turned up. Spark Bobson coming around the last corner now. Be the second person to set a lap time. What can he do?
Chelsea following. Oh, not as quick. Not as quick by a mile. Chelsea
must have made a mistake. He got
1:29. So warm-up lap.
And also it didn't actually set a lap time, so maybe it was invalidated. Zippo 1:19.9. Let's ride on board with Darren Sinclair, who is coming towards the final few corners. Raikkonen 1:19.3.
Orchid David on an out lap.
We'll see what Darren Sinclair can do. As he heads towards the line, it's a 1:18.062, but it was invalidated.
Oh,
so
no.
Do that again.
Now, I know the stream are going to hate me for this, but I'm going to look at the race director because I wonder if there's been contact between two drivers. No, just because they both got exceeding track limits. I was thinking De Gort taking that. Oh, wow, look how close that is.
For the first round, it's pretty good, isn't it? And so we've got Orchard David then, top of the table in Q2, and I believe actually he's just starting a lap. That happens often when it comes to these sorts of races. I always get confused between the people on an out lap and people on a flying lap, because once they reach sector 3, their out lap thing disappears, which really doesn't help.
I tell you what, while we're waiting for him to come round to set the lap time, I thought about this earlier when we were talking about spectator features. What happened if there was like a yellow flag in sector 1, and then they just they took control of the cameras and just put you on that to show you what had happened? Because most times you miss it, or you had to basically like split screen it.
Well, it might be a bit too advanced for consoles. Darren Sinclair 117.9. AJ coming towards the line with a 118.1.
I'm still on board with the other Red Bull right now.
Darren Sinclair going 9/10 quicker than anybody else in this session. So that's
I think that's anyone else today as well. Party mode has well and truly been engaged. Oh, Orchid David has pulled in.
Yep, so he must have abandoned the lap time and looking to get a new set of tyres on, ready for the second round of flying laps then. At the moment, Darren Sinclair leading by just under 9/10 of a second. Impressive lap time from Sinclair.
It's nuts, absolutely nuts.
We were saying, what was it, Jack? You were expecting a 1:16.5? Well, someone only needs to find 0.6 of a second now and they'll match your prediction.
Chelsea in as well. Does Zippo pit as well, or is he going to actually set the lap time? No, Zippo pitting as well. Can someone set a lap time, please? I haven't seen the main straight. I don't know what's happened.
Well, this is what normally happens in Q3, Jack. You just have first round into the pits, and then you go out for your second round. So Chelsea boy and Orchard David then will be hoping for that last run. So we'll probably see a flurry of activity in the pits then, with about 3 minutes to go as everyone tries to rush out onto track once again.
Darren Sinclair using the pit limiter, hitting triangle on his controller. Wow, Mercedes double stacking. So the Rocket Queen is not going to be happy there. Takes longer to get in.
A little bit more time. Yeah, as the team rush out to aid him. As there they go then.
You gotta say,
getting some calls on the brakes.
The visual AI for this game, they don't half look ridiculous.
Yeah, sometimes they do. But,
his hands aren't even on the actual size of the wing.
They tried, Jack. They
tried so hard. The racing was good. The multiplayer still struggles. Rocket's on an outlap though. Rocketoni is on an outlap. It's a Spark
Bobster. Yeah. So two drivers then hoping to just get prioritise clean air to a track that maybe will be rubbered in a bit more in about 2 minutes' time. So let's see what times they can do and see how the track's evolved.
What it could be.
Sector 3 now.
Yeah. What it could simply be is that they've come out. They're going to do one flyer, one cooldown lap, and another flyer. So they want to have enough time to do 2 laps, but with a cooldown lap in between.
Yeah, you could be right there. We'll have to wait and see. What happens. Also, if you've got any questions at all, anything at all you want to say in this YouTube live stream, go for it, and we'll try and answer any questions if we look down or look across to the computers, whatever you're doing, Jack.
I've got my phone on my pillow and I can see the chat. The most recent message was about half an hour ago from Clive Payton going, "Whoa, mama." Woe indeed.
And, well then, Spark Bobster then flying lap. Let's see what his sector 2 time is like as we reach turn 11. This is 27.7. No idea what that means, but we'll see. Well, he didn't have a delta time there, so I'm wondering if his lap time's been invalidated.
Ooh. Or it could be the delta glitch, where you lose delta, and we might have had it this time. Little flick of the rear end there. Ooh.
Goes quicker,
Fifth.
yeah. Fifth place for
Not
Spark
by
Hogster.
much. Well, actually by much, 2/10, but still. Zippo's coming onto his lap. He's got Rocketoni behind him. Let's go on board with Rocket.
Rocketoni then as well. Yep, he's on.
I think he's on a cooldown lap. He was 10 seconds slower that lap, so it must have been a cooldown lap.
Yeah, might have been. But he's on the attack once again. 2 minutes to go, and a lot of drivers heading out onto the track. Rigor is one of them. AJ out there as well. Got a Sauber ahead of him. Is that of Raikkonen? Also on an out lap.
The
Chelsea
big
Boys
question
on a flying lap.
is how are the traffic going to deal with cars on a fast lap? There's no indication. Oh, sector 1 for Rocketoni going literal thousandths quicker. But he's got 2 cars ahead of him, a McLaren and a Mercedes. Zippo, who looks to be on a lap as well. Oh, big slide there. Took the curbs a little bit there.
But he's recovered it.
He's abandoned it. He's abandoned.
No, he hasn't. Yeah, he's abandoned it. So that's it for Rocketoni then.
Sparks is coming around to finish his lap. He's not gone quicker through sector 2. Oh, he does though. Just marginally, just a little bit quicker. Has AJ, well, before I learn to speak English, is about to start his lap as well. What looks of it.
Chelsea boy here, who looks like he's going to finish his lap. Hasn't set a lap time so far, coming around the final corner. And where will this put him then? Racing towards the line. DRS Open, 1:18.6, puts him into 5th place.
That is a good lap from a man who didn't set a lap time. So the only driver left is Orchid David, who hasn't set a lap time, and he was quick. Sector 1. What's that?
That's just Chelsea boy retiring from the session,
wow.
from the menu.
Tell you what, it was not. Raikkonen had an issue by the looks of it, and he came across the track. I need to look back at that again, but it looked once again like another dangerous rejoining.
Well then, Orchard David coming around. We'll have to see AJ. Keep our eyes on those. Darren Sinclair as well.
Here we go. Is he going to be quicker? Not quick enough. 5th. He's got 1 lap though. He's got another lap. He came across at 0.
He's got. Well, he's got another lifeline then to try and beat. Oh, AJ! Speaking of which, I jump on board, and AJ's lost the car and is out of qualifying. Championship leader in the wall.
That's not good. That showered the track with carbon fibre. God, have you been taking notes from me of how to react to crashes?
Oh, absolutely. Darren Sinclair, meanwhile, coming through turn 13 and now coming through turn 14. He could abandon this lap if he wanted to, if not the threat from Orchard David of getting a lap time in there. Darren Sinclair then, is he going to get the 1:16.5? No, not quite, but he does go quicker, 1:17.0.
Wow.
Amazing lap time.
Oh, I should have put my money on 5/10 slower. Would have had that there.
Orchard David then is 5/10 up through sector 2 there. He's on a flying lap here.
That'll put him second.
It
by
would.
quite a margin.
Can he piece together sector 3, rounding the final corner now?
Corner's difficult, very difficult. Still 5/10, so I can see on his dashboard. Oh!
And he goes P2. 1:17.7 for Orchard David.
Darren Sinclair, he pulled it out, didn't he?
He absolutely did. 0.7 of a second. And that puts himself onto pole position. His championship rival, AJ, qualifies in 5th place. So there we have it then. Sinclair on pole, Orchard David 2nd, the Gore is in 3rd, Rocketoni 4th, AJ 5th, Chelsea Boys 6th, Spark Lobster 7th, Rocket Queen 8th, Zippo 9th, and Raikkonen is in 10th place. Setting ourselves up then for a great race.
That was insane. I want to know what happened to AJ. Did he just hit too much grass?
Yeah, it sort of looked like coming up on the exit of turn 11 there. He might have just clipped the grass. But yeah, he just hit the wall on the left-hand side there, and will find himself 5th place for the race.
Not a bad starting position, but not brilliant. Just something that we should know is formation lap on?
It's not.
Ah, Good. You can do lights out then.
Absolutely. So then, the Hungaroring then, first race in 1986. And not much has changed for this track in that meantime. The fastest race lap around here in 2017 was 1:20.1.
Danny Rick.
And that was set by Fernando Alonso.
Ah, yeah.
Honda. Would you believe it?
Didn't he finish 6th last year, didn't he? There?
I think so, yes.
Because Van Dorn, they finished stupidly high up, and everyone was like, oh my god, McLaren Honda's back. And then obviously,
the less said about that, the better. 35 laps then around the Hungaroring. The race is coming up very shortly.
Well, shortly, we're waiting for the countdown there. Here we go.
So here we go then. 5 red lights here in Hungary.
Go! Come
Round
on!
11 is underway, and what are the starts like then? Well, it looks like who's that? The Red Bull of the Orchard David then? Is that? Or we've got a.
I've got a glitch.
Technical glitch. Yeah, so have I. I've seen Orchard David in the lead, and he's clearly not. But,
Darren Sinclair's in 3rd, but he's in 1st. What? Must be a visual glitch
have
then.
A desync issue, but we'll focus on the racing for now then and see if it fixes itself. Here is AJ then, who's trying to make his way up the field.
Sector 1, Heffer's had an issue.
Close for comfort.
Heffer's had a spin, he's got no front wing. Well, he's got half the front wing.
Half the front wing for Heffy then, as Malachi looked like the other driver involved. But Darren Sinclair then has gone back up to the lead on the telemetry then. Orchard David 2nd, the Gort in 3rd. AJ's recovered to 4th for now. Rocketoni 5th, Spark Bobs to 6th, Chelsea Boy 7th, Zippo in 8th, Rocketry 9th, and Raikkonen rounding off the top 10 then. What I like to do is the biggest winners and losers then. We've got Pranker, who is up 5 places from his starting position, up into P12. He's the biggest winner. The biggest loser at the moment is Heffy, running around with a half a front wing, dropped 5 from his starting position.
Gotta say though, Pranker didn't set a lap time, did he? He turned up late for the session.
Absolutely, yeah. So he started from the very back. So Darren Sinclair then, trying to lead the way here. Orchard David in his first SNR race is in 2nd place. Here's the Gort then, trying to hold off AJ. We've got Rocketoni looking down the inside of AJ, very tempted there.
Wide,
but,
Ferrari's gone wide.
Yeah, that's Darren sorry, that's the Gort running wide there. As I pull off a Crofty, AJ looking down the inside of the Gort, but no dice. As of course the Gort here running on soft tyres. Of course he's running that alternate strategy. So we'll have to see how he does, but AJ has to find a way past if he's going to make his strategy work.
Raikkonen's in the pits. I like to name him Kimi more because it just sounds a lot easier to say. But Kimi is down in the pits, so him and Heffer both having a pit on the first lap. Looks like they might have come together.
Yeah, Rocketoni then, keeping on the back of AJ. The gap between the top 3 right now looks to be around about... what would you say that is? 3 seconds separating the top 3 right now. So Darren Sinclair's just looking to get his head down and lead the way.
Well, he's in clean air. He's in the best position since the start. I don't think Orchard David will have a 2-second a 2-second toe coming into the onto the start-finish straight.
Well, you never know. Never say never in league racing. That's for sure. As already then 1:21.0, we're already. Very close to the actual lap race record in 2017, so that's encouraging then, showing how quick these guys are.
Tell you what, they're not all going for the moves straight away. They're calculating. It's a long race. It's 35 laps. Just I say, as Malachi gets past Jensen there, but we didn't see it, and he saw it on the board. Yeah,
they're still going side by side then. That's Heffy behind them as well as they head through into turn, I believe that's classed as turn 2, as Jensen runs wide. Heffy gets the move done, but he runs wide as well. And it's very, very cut and dry here. This is very tense stuff for all 3 drivers as they look to just try and make it through without any damage.
Let's go back up to the top couple. Oh, wait, I would, by the looks of it. Williams having a look at the Toro Rosso. Not yet. He's bouncing over the curves. A side by side, not side by side. God, I can't tell the distance anymore.
Well, I can tell you the distance between them is just under 0.3 of a second as they're heading through now into turn 11. Heffy's not got a great line into turn 11.
Dirty Air's affecting that Williams. Here comes Jensen.
Jensen down the inside, coming into turn 12. And,
not yet.
No, he can't make that move. And so Heffy beats him on the braking then. So Heffy then running in 15th place.
Rocket Tony and all of us has got past Spark Booster getting past again. I'll name you Spark Plug. He's side by side with the McLaren of AJ, Chelsea boy, sorry. Is he going to hold it into the hairpin, into turn 2 or turn 3, whichever one it is? Oh, contact, but a little bit of lag. I've just woken up. Have you seen?
Yes. But there we go then.
I'm back,
Chelsea
baby.
Moves up into 6th place then. And Spark Bobster then opening himself up to Invader Zippo running behind. Now,
Sector 1, Heffy's gone.
That's Heffy. Heffy is gone. Into the wall he went. And, that's not a place to lose it on your own there.
I think he hit the grass on the inside.
Could have done the entry into turn 3, but Heffy then becomes the first retirement.
Sector 1 and 2. There's been another issue. Sector 1, Sector 2. Who is that? I think that's Jensen and Shamba, the White Shamba, having issues there.
White Samba, yes. Yes, the White Samba was off the track. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Jensen has lost that front right-hand side.
Heffy is gone, and there goes the slipstream.
Yeah, suffering from the slipstream glitch now with a track that's hard to overtake at. It's just made that a little bit more difficult.
There's a lot of carbon fibre coming off on the runoff through Sector 2. Sector 2, Sector 1, Turn 1. That's the words I'm looking for. I'm on board with AJ.
Found them eventually then.
Eventually my tiny brain will plug it in. AJ looking for a way past the Gort in the Ferrari. No dice right now. The issue, Jensen, is in the pits. Don't know how I got Jensen and Jason mixed up there. And Shamba following him through. Front wing damage, probably. That's a thing, though. Strategy-wise, could they make it to the end on these tyres? If they're going on the... Well, Jensen's going on the the super soft tyres. So, definitely not. Yeah,
he definitely has to stop again. But if you stop onto the soft tyres now... Yeah,
they might be following the recommended strategy, which is a super soft stint and then the soft stint.
Absolutely. So we'll have to see how that plays out. That's the back end loss for the Gort then, as he's trying to fend off AJ. This is the perfect opportunity then for AJ to get some DRS on him. And looks like then the Gort got a good exit out of turn 14.
Oh, he's off like a rocket, isn't he?
30. He is indeed.
Sector 2, sector 2, yellow flag. Just a car going wide by the looks of it. Oh, the dirty air is not AJ's friend in this race, is it?
Meanwhile, Chelsea boy getting back past Spark Bobster, heading into turn 1. But Spark Bobster's going to try and have a go round the outside into turn 2, and he's got him. Look at that. Maybe running less drag here, but they are still side by side heading into turn 2 and turn 3. Spark Bobster's going to have that inside line, and he takes the position. Chelsea boy now leaves himself open to Invader Zippo, trying to go round the outside into turn 4, and Chelsea boy has gone from 6th place to 8th place in a matter of corners.
God, I can't believe I missed that last bit.
Well, now down to 8th place, and
I'll tell you what,
he's got to do that work all over again.
AJ is pushing the Gort through the corners. He's a little bit wide though. He's lost time. Sector 3, yellow flags. Who could it be? Oh, hang on. Was that Toro Rosso in the wall there?
I'm not entirely sure, but
I'm going to literally look back at my stream on my phone and find out if that was actually a Toro Rosso in it. In the wall there. So you commentate for a moment. I need to see.
Oh, absolutely, I will. Zippo here, seeing if he can have a look at Spark Bobster.
It was. I looked back on my screen, and it's Jason.
Jensen, you mean?
Jensen.
To take too much curve there. Yeah, too much curve on the inside there. And he's hit that pit wall. Meanwhile, then, we're going to jump back on board with Invader Zippo, trying to have a look down the inside of Spark Bobster into turn 2. Meanwhile, behind them, Heemkarl having a look down the inside of Chelsea boy. Two battles happening at once. I'm not sure where to look. Spark Bobster holds on to his position, but takes a lot of curb. Heemkarl then goes round the outside of Chelsea boy as they head towards turn 4.
Wow, they're in two different trains. Rocket Queen getting getting a 3-second penalty right now.
And meanwhile, Rocket trying to find a way past Chelsea down the inside as we head towards 6 and 7.
Oh, I don't know if there was contact there between a McLaren and a Red Bull. Nothing major. Nothing flew up there. You're getting very close to each other. Be careful, you're on the harder tyres. Oh, Red Bull goes wide. McLaren goes round the outside. Oh, that's perfect.
Meanwhile, Invader Zippo's going to have a go at this. And
Rocket Queen follows through.
Side by side. And yes, he's got the position from Hinkal there. Chelsea boy next target then.
Here we go.
Train then, running from 6th place down to, I believe, that's Pranker in the Force India in 11th place.
Renault pulling to the inside. He's moving around a lot on track. Not anything to warrant weaving, but still, I don't know if he's comfortable with his car, but he looks it, especially through turn 2.
Absolutely then. Spark always a tricky braking zone, turn 2. Always Pranker's trying to go up the inside of Hinkal here. Has he got the move? And a rage came up there from Hinkal. His driver tar's not happy, but Pranker can't quite get the move done as they leg a little bit of contact coming through turn 3. Still Pranker's trying to find a way through, but backs out of the move into turn 4.
Zippo, multiple warnings. You get a 3-second penalty. 3 strikes, you're out.
Well, 3 strikes and a penalty. Normally 3 seconds. That's the severity they use in 50% races. As we've got Zippo here on the back of Spark Bobster. Meanwhile, Rockatoni, further up the field to get away from the 6-car train, is on the tail of the Gort here. And Gort here on soft tyres, still keeping up with the likes of AJ and Orchard David.
Tell you what, we missed AJ passing the Gort.
Right. You know what, it may have only been a couple of laps ago. I'm already forgetting things. But here comes Rockatoni then, coming up the inside of the Gort. Can he get that move done? No, he can't. And stays behind, but he will have DRS once again.
Rocket Queen's in the pits.
Rocket Queen in the pits then. And what tyres go on? Are these medium tyres? No, there's soft tyres going on. So lap 9
Still
then.
lending towards a 2-stop strategy from what I remember.
No, that soft, super soft. My apologies.
The graphics on this game sometimes. Malachi in the pits too. Going to drop down to Chelsea boy, who's now nosing his way towards Invader Zippo. He wants that position. He wants that 7th place, but Spark is just pushing him into him a little bit. Spark not going a million miles an hour. What's happening?
Oh, sorry to keep interrupting you. I've just noticed Pranker has made his move on Hinkal. Now he's up into 9th place.
I mean, down. It's just Zippo is clearly frustrated by the dirty air he's getting off that Renault.
Absolutely, but he's got to remember he's on that soft tyre stint, so he can't damage them too much trying to make some moves. Thought about it going into turn 12, but thought better of it.
Well, he thought about it going into there, but what's happening?
AJ into the pits.
Rockatoni following him through. So we must be into the pit stop windows.
We must be in that 1-stop pit window. Yep, soft tyres are ready in the McLaren garage. Oh, and AJ held up by Rockatoni, who was also coming in. So that's going to cost him time, but where will he rejoin?
Oh, contact! There goes Invader Zippo's wing. Oh.
Only maybe a part of it. Maybe he can keep running out there.
Cascade element, that's yellow flat. That's yellow wing, that one, that is.
He's managing to keep it in check for now, but he will come under threat now from Chelsea boy. And Invader Zippo, when he was saying to us he just wanted a good weekend, his bad run was still going to go on, well, that's not going to help him at all now.
It's just a simple mistake that he made. He misjudged the overspeed he'd get from the DRS and the tow, and he just went into the back of him. Simple mistake. Done it so many times myself.
Well, that means he's open to Chelsea boy now. He's still managing to keep up
is he?
Spark Bobster, but Chelsea boy is definitely looking at that. He smelt blood now, Chelsea boy. Maybe he could try and move down into turn 12.
See, what Chelsea see now is that he knows that Zippo's wounded, and Zippo has clearly let Spark go, because he's now focusing on behind him, let alone going ahead of him.
He stays out though, so he's looking to try and carry on with his stint, regardless of his wing damage.
He's got DRS open.
Then Well,
He's quick in a straight line, isn't he? Look at Zippo.
Absolutely. So that broken front wing may be helping him down the straights here.
It's a little less aero to carry him through.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking then for around about 20 to 25 laps.
Oh, good David.
Soft tyres.
Orchid David taking a time penalty. He isn't pushing too hard. He's 11 seconds behind Darren Sinclair. Darren Sinclair's he's just waltzed off with it, hasn't he? He's just left it.
Absolutely. Well, he's running on those super soft tyres. Now, AJ maybe trying to perform a bit of an undercut.
Whoa, big slide. Zippo's gone. Zippo lost the back end, went over the grass. Oh, contact between Chelsea Boy and Zippo. Zippo's got dirt in his sides. Here comes Prankster. Oh, Prankster's been pinned between a Red Bull and a Mercedes.
And Prankster must have lost a bit of front wing as well.
Oh, the front wing Grand Prix. Is it Monaco or is it Hungary? I can't remember.
Well, Himkar's just gone right down the inside of Pranker, and I'm assuming then Pranker's got that front wing damage.
Oh, he's
locked up coming into turn 12. AJ here has got to be careful now coming down the inside of turn 13. Can he make that move stick then?
He's got it. Zippo's into the pits.
Yep, Zippo's in for his front
wing change and
AJ.
Possible tyre change.
AJ then, well, it might not be in this lobby right now, but I'll tell you what, slipstream or no slipstream, AJ's down the inside of Himkar and up into 6th place he goes. Warning signs then for Darren Sinclair that the more he stays out now, he could be losing more and more time.
It could be that way, or well, see, AJ was caught up in traffic, but luckily this is helping AJ. Whatever happened between, by the looks of it, from what I saw, Zippo went onto the grass and got dirt in his tyres, and the McLaren just had a slap of oversteer, and he managed to correct it. So it's just difficult. Now here's the question: 5th and 6th are 2 McLarens. Team orders.
Team orders could be used. You never know. They are leading the constructors, McLaren. They might be telling Chelsea Boy a couple of words here.
He's letting him through. He's letting him through. There we go.
Yeah, there. Well,
that's the better start.
AJ is faster than you, but Chelsea Boy letting his teammate through then. So that's another car for AJ to pass them.
Multi 2,315.
Absolutely, multi 2315. Yeah, that works then. Pranker into the pits then, as is Spark Bobster. So we'll see Pranker probably change his front wings. Spark Bobster then shouldn't be changing his front
looking
wing
at AJ, not AJ's teammate even. What's his name? Chelsea Boy. Ironically, with a red helmet. If it is to do with football, I have no idea what football is. So I'm just going to suck it up. Prankster on the medium tyres.
Yeah, Pranker, maybe not confident on the soft tyre running then. So he's out on the medium tyres. Another driver on the medium tyres is Raikkonen. So
well, Kimi pitted lap 1 though, didn't he?
He did. I think he pitted again. Let's have a look at the stops. Yeah, he's pitted twice. So
has he now?
We'll be looking to just run to the end. So then, AJ is currently around about 25 seconds down on Darren Sinclair. Speaking of which, Darren Sinclair into the pits he comes.
Leader in the pits.
So he's done 12 laps on those tyres, trying to make this one stop work.
Medium tyres.
Medium tyres at the ready. Or are they soft
Red
tyres?
Bull
no,
2, here comes medium. Orchid.
So then,
and the Gort too. Top 3 then. All pitting once. AJ is going to come out. No, AJ's just past the final corner. Darren stays in the lead.
Well, that's huge then. So AJ in
overcut.
Second. Yeah, Darren Sinclair has rejoined. Yeah, on the medium tyres, the slower tyres. So it's now, the ball has to be in AJ's court now. He has to try and close this gap.
The thing that sucks though is AJ's got to stop again.
Well, you never know. These drivers do love to run towards the 75, 80%, maybe even 85 to their tyres. So we could be seeing AJ doing the one stop. I'll be amazed if he can do a one stop on those soft tyres. We'll have to wait and see though. Orchard David here on the back of Rockatoni.
Oh, Spark, so Spark. Jump down to Spark. He's very close to the Gort on the medium tyres.
Well, Spark Bobster on some softer tyres. He's looking to try and find a way past, but can he?
I don't know. We'll have to see. This is a technical section. Oh, he's drifting! He's drifting
off!
off!
The back end.
Oh!
Oh, kept that out of the wall, and that was
well
crucial
done.
there. So that could have been a lot worse, but he now finds himself under pressure from Chelsea Boy, who was also pitted in on some medium tyres. So, well, the McLaren definitely splitting the strategy here.
Tell you what, because some of the drivers are out of sync with the race, it looks difficult. But right now, AJ is the man who's gained the most in the pit stop. Him, Carl, into the pits. David, Orchid David, sector 2, what's that? Nothing, just someone going wide. Oh, Raikkonen's gone.
Raikkonen. Well, Raikkonen must have lost his front wing and thought, I've had enough for today. And,
oh, contact between the Toro Rosso. Oh, David. No, I don't know. He did body slam him into turn 1.
Well, maybe he learned
from
Kimmy's
Max just retired on track.
But Orchard there then, looking to cover a bit of time more. Yellow flags in sector 2. Is that just Raikkonen again? Yes, it is.
Yeah. No, it did look a bit like he body slammed him. I just looked on my replay though. It looked like he managed just to keep it out of it. So he just went side by side through there.
Meanwhile, then a 4-car battle developing. Heenkarl, Spark Bobster, Chelsea Boy, and Zippo here, all battling away, and they're all on different tyres.
Well, that's an interesting list. all on different tyres, all very different cars.
Absolutely, this should be a good battle then to see who can prevail.
I'm on the T-cam of Zippo because at this point of the track you can see almost everything ahead of you. They're both... Oh, Zippo's off the track.
And so is Chelsea Boy, maybe just slightly, but the game does let you run wide at that corner without punishing you.
Words cannot express how much Codemasters annoy me sometimes, but they still give us a good platform to race on.
Absolutely.
Please sponsor me.
So then, round the final corner he goes, and what sort of move will we expect from Spot Bobster then on Heenkarl as they come down the straight?
As if he can make a move at all. Having a look, Danny Rick dive bomb. He's caused him to go wide. He's scared him off the track.
Well, Spot Bobster then has made that move stick then, as Heenkarl runs wide, a little bit of dirt on his tyres there. He's got to be careful for the next couple of corners and make sure he keeps that car on the track. Spot Bobster then is released and can try and hunt down Rocket Queen up ahead.
Rocket Queen, who's very close to the Gort on the medium tyres versus the super soft tyres. Oh, just bottoms out over a curb there. Oh, Jensen's left. Oh, he crashed out. Rocket Queen, multiple penalties. Little bit of lag, I think, coming off that, or rubber banding because we were coming into a corner there. What are you looking at?
I'm looking on board with Heenkarl right now as he's chasing down Spark Bobster. Both on the same set of tyres, but Zippo here, his race is being really hurt there behind 2 medium runners.
Contact, big contact. Did they manage to keep it from actually hitting each other there?
I think so. There doesn't look to be much wing damage on Heenkarl. That's from what I can see anyway. As Chelsea Boy here looking to try and, well, definitely not for the first time this race, has smelled blood and is right on the tail of the I believe that's the Red Bull ahead of him. Yes, it is.
Red Bull and Renault.
What are all their exits like?
See, this is interesting because this is going to be a double DRS overtake if he can get it, but they're just so quick in a straight line. Spark's gone at turn 1.
Spark Bobster locked up then going into turn 1, and that's allowed Chelsea Boy to go side by side. Heenkarl goes clear.
Chelsea's strong in this corner. Oh, that's close.
He's tried to get the inside line, but Chelsea Boy looks like he's got the move.
Oh, a bit slow because he got on the grass.
Don't go 3 wide going into turn 4, please. No.
No, Zippo's pulled out of it, but Chelsea's lost out the spark. Here comes Zippo. Oh, that was half a move. He body slammed his way through.
Well, he's found the way past. Whether it was a clean move or not, he's through. And Chelsea Boy then finds himself down as Invader Zippo gets a little bit of a tank slapper coming through turn 8 there.
This is going to be interesting now. Because now Chelsea's got to do it all again on these tyres that are meant to last into the end of the race.
Absolutely. And what do you start to prioritise? Do you start to take it easy a little bit and just try and get the tyres to the end for a bit, or do you just go full out attack?
What he could have done is he could have played it smartly and just defended from Zippo and just ruined Zippo's tyres in that segment there.
Absolutely, but you know what they say, hindsight is 2020.
Oh wait, I'm on board with Zippo, that's why. I just made myself jump.
Oh dear.
Oh, I went on the onboard camera to look at thinking I was on Chelsea Boys. I jumped, seeing that there was no McLaren in front of me because I was on board with Zippo. Oh god.
So we've got a bit of a breathing space here. Let's run through as we head over the halfway mark of this race. Darren Sinclair is in the lead. AJ is second, 5.6 the gap between them. Orchard David third, Rocket Tony fourth. The Gort is in fifth. Rocket Queen 6th, Team Carl 7th, Spark Bobster 8th, Zippo is in 9th, Chelsea Boy 10th, Branca 11th, Captain Pants 12th, White Samba 13th, and Malachi is in P14.
The final, finisher on track he will be. The drivers we've lost, Raikkonen, from what we've seen, is just frustration and rage quitting. Jensen, I will eventually get that right. Losing his wheel, deciding he'd run the Sam Bird option of Carr and Heifer. He lost it in a very peculiar place that caused him to spin by the looks of it.
Absolutely.
Here comes Zippo.
Invader Zippo, yeah, we're both on the same driver as he's looking here to try and make these tyres work. Now, he does have to stop again. He's going for the more aggressive strategy. He needs to find his way past Spark Bobster.
He will need his way to find a way past, but Bobster is just so fast in a straight line, and he seems to have it through most corners, except for occasionally when he'll just start to drift like he did a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, he did run a little wide coming out of turn 1, which gave Zippo a bit of hope heading into turn 2, but as you can see there, Zippo mounted the curbs on the inside of turn 2 there, and it just lost him that little bit of traction that he so desperately needed.
Tell you what though, I've just put on the T camera, so I'm holding on to the back of Zippo's car right now recording, and his dashboard is flashing pit.
Oh yeah, that's just the game.
It is just the game, but
pit
maybe he's going against the team's wishes for strategy.
Yeah, I think I've had that before where it looks like they're going to pit or they're ignoring it, but actually it flashes up pit from their first pit window, and for the rest of the race it just flashes.
Personally, I found it when I start to extend a stint a little bit longer. AJ getting a time penalty there for just corner cutting, probably pushing too hard. AJ though, cut down the gap between him and Darren Sinclair there.
Yeah, it's at 5.5 seconds at the moment as we cut
Spark's
away,
gone.
and that's Spark Bobster. Yeah, Spark Bobster ran wide, and that's allowed Zippo through, who's up into P8. His next target then is Hinkar.
Oh, that was brilliant. Zippo didn't put too much pressure on. Captain Pants comes into the pits. Have a look what that's for.
This looks like the two-stop strategy at play then. 15 laps on those soft tyres, and away he goes.
Lovely pink helmet there on Captain Pants' car.
Absolutely. He's posted at the moment, but he rejoins the track then in 12th place, and there is the Ferrari, I believe. That's Darren Sinclair, so it is indeed.
Is Sinclair lapping?
Absolutely. Well, he's lapped Malachi and White Samba, and Captain Pants is next then.
Well, we all know that Darren Sinclair will suddenly become Sebastian Vettel and start singing Blue Flags.
Well, he's in the right car to do it, that's for sure.
Blue Flags. Oh, Zippo. No, not Zippo. Sorry, the other McLaren. Rocket Queen coming into the pits. McLaren? Yeah, Mercedes. God. I didn't have my coffee, if you can't tell.
Oh, absolutely. Here he comes then. Onto a set of soft tyres then, making that two-stop work. And we'll see what he can do towards the end of the race then. Mercedes looking for that two-stop as I jump on board with Invader Zippo. He runs wide as he's still trying to chase down Finkar ahead of him. I'm just going to jump on board with Rocket Tony because he's closing the gap to Orchard David here.
He's just going to join you because by the looks of it, he's not going to... Wow, he can see him, can't he?
Absolutely. Within range, and he's cut that gap down quite a way now, under a second, so he will have DRS if he can keep there. At the moment, as you can see from that live timing, he's just outside of it for now.
Italian car hunting the Austrian car. The sister teams trying to find their way past each other.
Absolutely. We'll see now coming towards. There's that DRS line, I believe it is. It's quite late on, so yes.
I think he just got it. He just got it.
He did. Meanwhile, Chelsea boy looks like he's closing on Spark Bobster here. Did Spark Bobster run wide coming into turn 11 there? So now Chelsea
no dirt on his tyres.
As that's the car ahead there. That's Zippo now coming into the pits.
I was going to mention that lap. I think the Super Softs have run their course.
I think they have. Onto some soft tyres they'll go. And what does that mean then
Sector
for...
one.
We've got yellow flags then.
Orchid David! Orchid David! Oh, he's had a spin by the looks of it.
Yeah, he has. And those soft tyres will be ruined now.
That was insane. He was doing so well on his debut. Well, you still got to give it to him for his debut. 4th place on debut is brilliant.
Absolutely, but it's not over yet. Still a long way to go. We've got 14 laps left of this race. So anything can happen, and in league racing it normally does.
Who are you on board with right now?
I'm just watching Darren Sinclair start the 23rd lap of the race.
AJ's in the pits.
AJ in the pits. This will be. This looks like it will be the super soft stint then to the end of the race. So
13,
he's really going to push
12
it
or 13 laps on the super softs is well and truly doable. Absolutely. Wait, those are softs.
He's going on the softs. So where will he rejoin there? There's Rockatoni going through.
I think he's going to rejoin just ahead of Orchid David. Orchid David, well, not just ahead, quite far ahead. But, wow. What could have been
AJ. Well, I was just going to say that AJ rejoins around 25 seconds back from Darren Sinclair. So he's got a lot to do in 13 laps there.
Tell you what though, Orchid David, multiple warnings. Chelsea has dropped back from Spark, so maybe the soft tyres are getting a little bit of a resurgence of power right now.
It can happen. Spark Bobs are there going through. They might do, but whether they'll last to the end of the race, you saw there AJ pit in, so that's going to be a warning sign for drivers like Rockatoni and Orchard David. They might have to pit again.
It could be that AJ was playing it safe, thinking, okay, the tyres are at 50%, I'm going around, maybe I've got enough gap behind me to stay on the podium, I'll pit and I'll play it safe so I know I'll get to the end.
Absolutely. Well, he's cut the gap now as he'll come around the final corner. We'll see as he crosses the line. Rough gap between the leaders then. It's around 24 seconds.
Gained a second since coming out. Seconds.
But he is catching Rockatoni, that's for sure.
Just another thing to bring up, another team battle as I catch Invader Zippo going off track, is a 10th and 11th is Invader Zippo and Rocket Queen. So I wonder if they'll say, okay, I'm higher in the championship, I want the single point. Or if they'll say, right, I want to fight for this. You guys can let them two fight.
Yeah, well, both completed their stop, so they're both on the same strategy. I would say those two are going to fight it out on the track.
I just kicked a bag. Our commentary box clearly isn't clean, is it?
Well, I don't know about your commentary box, but mine's quite nice. As we see AJ
I forgot
here
they put us in separate rooms. They put the new guy in the old room, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
AJ very close.
Yeah, under 7/10 now, so he'll definitely have some DRS. Have to keep an eye on,
Rockatoni's in.
Rockatoni, so he comes in for another set, I assume, of softs. So will he try a different strategy? Will he go for some super softs? As AJ sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:20.011.
I'm on board now with Rockatoni coming down into pit lanes. Those are yellow, those are the softs.
So playing it safe then to get to the end. It could be said then that do those guys have a set of super soft tyres? They might not. Heading into this, heading into the race.
It is difficult. It's hard to tell, isn't it? But through all of this, look who's back in third.
Absolutely, Orchard David. But of course, He has been running on those soft tyres for a long time. He may have to come into the pits. He might be looking at the super soft stint towards the end if he has those tyres available.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. It is going to be a difficult choice. From now on, super softs are going to easily be quicker. Malachi, I don't know how long he's been on those tyres for the super softs, but he's in a good position, except for the fact that he's 25 seconds behind the leader. Oh, 25 seconds behind White Shamba.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the battle between the Mercedes now, between Rocket and Zippo, as you can see here, coming into turn 5. Pretty close between them, 0.4 of a second.
For the final point.
Absolutely. 10 laps to go in this race, as Darren Sinclair currently leads by 23.2 seconds.
You got to say, unless something dramatic happens, like a blowout in Sector 1 or a lapped car collision, I think Sinclair's got this.
Yeah, well, never say never in league racing. Anything
I'm
can
trying
happen.
to curse it so we'll have something interesting to commentate over as well.
Well, that's not the spirit. As now invading Zippo then.
Oh, I tell you what, I have managed to prank something though, because Prankster's close to Chelsea.
Absolutely, I'm riding on board here with Invader Zippo. He's didn't get the exit of the last corner right there. Rocket Queen goes defensive. That DRS is helping now. Invader Zippo, he's going to try and go around the outside, try and cut back into turn 1, and that looks like it's going to work here. DRS open here as Invader Zippo goes through now into P10. Lovely driving from Zippo there. Good racecraft.
Gotta say, Rocket Queen didn't defend too hard. Wow, the Force India's back end. The Rocket Queen, wanted to make sure that they didn't break number 1 rule, which is don't hit your teammate.
Absolutely, better to do that. Better to be safe than sorry. But yeah, Zippo up into the points then, and the battle ahead of him is between Chelsea Boy and Pranker, and he's 10.2 away from us. If those two start battling, they could easily draw in Zippo into this fight.
Another thing, that would bring in Rocket Queen, because Rocket Queen seems to be stuck on the back end of Zippo. They're coming back together again. Oh, this will be interesting to see if they can get anything. Oh, it's going to be Prankster. Someone's in.
Cut away. And Pranker here now along the straight trying to chase down Chelsea Boy. They both have DRS because Chelsea Boy had it on spot. Bobster. Pranker locking up coming into turn 1. And Spark Bobster there going on
the
to some
supers. Yes. Taking our advice. Oh, Pranker locking up quite a bit. Those tyres are not going to be thanking him soon.
Oh,
catching a lot of oversteer and understeer.
Couple of battles to be watching out on track. Chelsea Boy Pranker for P7, Zippo Rocket Queen for P9, and those are the closest battles out on track right now.
Multiple warnings for Zippo. Sector 3, Captain Panther's gone.
Captain Pants.
Oh,
wow.
On the start-finish straight. How's he done that?
He might have just lost it onto the grass there. He might have run a little bit too wide onto the grass, overcorrected, and that's just sent him.
That's very high up as well. It's very far forwards.
Well then, Captain Pants is out of the race, becomes the 4th retirement.
That's such a shame, that is. He was not in a points paying position, but at least he was going to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Pranker then coming around the final corner, 6/10 down. They're coming up to the scene of the accident. All green flags, so they're allowed to overtake down this main straight now, and Pranker doesn't need a second invitation. He's going to try and move
double
down
lock
the inside,
up.
Locks up. And did they make contact? I don't think they did. They did. As Pranker then moves up into P7, and Chelsea Boy trying to have a move down the inside. Pranker locks up. That's going to be an invitation for Chelsea Boy there, but Pranker there moves up into 7th place, and ahead of him, that's a Toro Rosso, and is that of? That could be of.
No, it won't.
Sure who that,
next car is Heemcar, and he's in the Red Bull. So that's a lapped car. In Malachi. Yeah, that's Malachi's helmet. That's blue flags. Start doing the Sebastian Vettel song, everybody. Blue flags.
Yeah, he's got 3 flags, and he runs very wide there as White Samba comes into the pits then. Will he
Super
try
soft
and put up
tyres.
instead of super softs?
Oh, here
Yeah,
we
he'll try
go.
and put Alonso it.
Move into the turn 12. Oh, double
Chelsea
lock
boy
up.
down the inside.
Contact.
A little bit of wheel banging there. Nothing major there as they come through into turn 13. Still, Chelsea boy trying to stay around the outside. No dice. He will have DRS then. He's got to get the exit of turn 14. Absolutely right. Runs wide in the entry. That gives him a better exit. But can he make use of that now? Coming down the start finish straight. Battle for P7. And Branca here. Will he stay to the left-hand side or will he Max Verstappen it? No. Defends the inside line. Very late decision there. Chelsea boy
Another
trying to go around the
lock-up.
outside. And has he got the move stick? No, he runs wide, doesn't get the traction he wanted. Branca then stays in P7, heading towards turn 2.
Nudged him a little bit wide there, I think. Ooh, that's I don't think that would be to the stewards, really. I mean, that's just a little bit of argy-bargy there.
A little bit, but well, we'll
Clear,
have to
Chelsea's
see
not
that.
happy with it. He's put his helmet back down and he's pushing.
Absolutely, and we'll see here what Chelsea boy can do. Obviously, he's cracked his knuckles and he's going to have another go here. 6 laps to go here at the Hungary.
Oh, very close together. Gonna go on board
Very
on the
close.
T-Card. Darren Sinclair, I think that's his first penalty of the day.
Chelsea boy here looking into turn 12.
Oh.
Branca locking up just a little bit, but nothing major. We head into turn 13.
Yeah, he's trying to force him into a big lockup, isn't he?
Absolutely, and
Scaring him
putting Branca
around.
under that bit of pressure. Chelsea boy this time opting for an inside line, and look at that, he's got a much better exit this time around than he did last lap, and Branca's under pressure now. And which line will he defend now?
Not
Chelsea
yet.
boy doesn't go for
Double
the move, but
lockup.
Branca
Is he
locks
going
up,
wide? No, he's not.
keeps it in check, and what about that exit from Branca then, heading towards turn 2? This could be the move for Chelsea boy. Oh,
No!
Branca
Did he move
doing a
twice?
little bit of, well, I think he just did a Max Verstappen defending and moved as late as possible there. Very risky. That could end in tears very easily. But Branca stays ahead.
That also was made illegal, that move. Sector 2. Orchid David, no!
Orchid David is out
Oh,
of the race.
no! Oh,
And
the
it is first
debutante.
SNR race.
Oh,
Out of the
after
race, then that's gonna
qualifying
promote,
well.
Yeah.
Racing well.
Unbelievable.
That spin must have unsettled him, but he's just sat. He's gonna be so frustrated there.
Meanwhile, then Chelsea boy has lost a bit of front wing. Now, did he come together with Branca there?
I've
He's
lost
running
Chelsea,
around now
Rosie.
with half a front wing. He's down
I
to
think
P11.
that might have been Sector 2. There's another issue. Sector 3, sorry, there's another issue. I think I'm going to call it and say that the move that who was it? Branca did. Sorry, that's it. Try to remember. I think that what Branca did caused him to lose the wing because he did go along the curb as well. I think that wasn't a good move at all. And that if I were Branca, I would have given the position back there.
Well, sometimes with these drivers, when they make the move and you've got that adrenaline rushing through, everything you do is right. Everything you do is within rules, and that's why we have the
Rocket
stewards
Queen and
afterwards.
Zippo. Rocket Queen going past Zippo pretty easily. Must have caught Zippo by surprise.
Yeah, he's up into P7 now, and you can see now Zippo instantly on the attack here. Surely not into the inside of turn 5. No, he backed out of it.
That corner, I hate that corner. One of my top 10 hated corners ever in Formula 1. I hate that corner.
Lovely angle on the broadcast camera here at the moment as we head through 6 and 7. Now coming through turn 8 with Rocket Queen, and you can see there Zippo staying on his tail with the dirty air through this section now, through 10 and then 11. You can see how much that affects Zippo with the dirty air there.
Well, Zippo's been going wide there all race, so and I know for a fact that you can go wide there without getting penalised. It's the question of should you go wide there if you're gaining time there.
Well, as drivers, you have to take advantage of things that don't get caught up on. That's what USA 2017 was all about. So anything that doesn't get penalised by the game is, to these drivers, fair play.
Oh, here we go. Is he going to have a look?
Rocket Queen defends the inside line. Zippo, though, prioritises a better exit heading towards turn 2, and you can see then how much better his exit is Coming around the outside of turn 2 is Zippo. Has he got the position done?
No,
and,
they
come
touch.
very close. And
Zippo pulls
there
out
just
of it.
has to back out of the move. Very close racing between the two Mercedes there. And Toto Wolff is well on the edge of his seat here.
Oh, I think he's had to get another table. He's got the Nicky's executive table and he's got a new one.
Absolutely, but look at this though. Zippo's not giving up on this battle.
Tell you what, Spark's coming into this now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, very wide.
Zippo running wide. But he's still on that back tail then, on that rear wing, on that gearbox of Rocket Queen. And like you said there, Spark Bobster is starting to reel these two in. If they keep battling, then they'll get the real chance of the Renault there to catch up.
2 laps remain. Lap 33 out of 35.
It will be 2 laps once Darren Sinclair crosses that start-finish line. He's had a pretty quiet race, Darren Sinclair, but well, he nailed qualifying, and he just needs a couple more corners to start that penultimate lap. Meanwhile then, coming into turn 1 with Invader Zippo, Rocket Queen ran wide, and look at this now, Rocket Queen defending the inside line. Zippo has to go around the outside into turn 2. Zippo tries to prioritise that exit there as we head towards...
oh, he's... No! Wow, okay!
Hits the wall, and is that damage to the front wing? Yes, it is.
Yes, that's hefty damage.
Blood. It is indeed, and he got the exit of turn 3 there all wrong. And Spark Bobster here looks like he could take that position then.
The Renault shark fin has just got a little bit higher, coming through the air. Oh,
well, here we go.
A wounded Mercedes versus a Renault. Oh, he's let him through.
He doesn't put up too much of a fight for Spark Bobster there. And does that invite Spark Bobster to try and have a go at Rocket? Well, he's 3.5 seconds down and seems to be falling away then. Those super soft tyres don't seem to be lasting too long around.
Here comes Zippo! Here comes Zippo! Into turn 13! Scared him off the track again.
Up just yet. And look at that then, Zippo staying out, so he's going to the end now, even with a broken front wing.
Well, there's no point pitting at this lap. You can muscle it for 2 laps, you can keep going.
Absolutely, he'll be defending P8 for his life then here as Spark Bobster heading down into turn 1. Again, prioritising that exit is Spark Bobster, and what can he do now? Coming towards turn 3. Looks like not a lot there, he's a bit too far back to try a dive bomb move.
I'm going to have to spoil the party here and tell you Darren Sinclair has just started the final lap.
Well, we've got to keep an eye on him now. Around about a minute before Darren Sinclair takes the checkered flag. So
I think he takes the checkered flag after these guys go on to lap 35.
So we'll try and stay on board with these two.
Yeah, he's behind them right now. He's behind them right now. So as soon as we go see these two go over the start-finish straight, we've got to jump onto Darren Sinclair.
Well, I'll tell you what, Darren Sinclair isn't too far away from lapping the both of them. They've got to be careful here. Spark Bobster picking up a 3-second time penalty, running wide there. And that battle there seems to be fading away. And there's Darren Sinclair in the shot. So whilst he's in the shot, then we're going to jump on board with him. It's been a pretty quiet race for him. But I'll tell you what, he needed a result like this coming in to turn 13 now.
And 14. The Ferrari, just like 2017, a dominant performance.
And it's going to be Darren Sinclair to take 25 points here at the Hungaroring.
AJ 23 seconds behind. And I think that's just reignited a championship fight right there.
Absolutely. Well, the gap will be in the 30s now, that's for sure, as AJ coming around the final corner. You can see there his teammate, Chelsea Boy, a lap down, but AJ
is happy with that performance. He's happy with P2. Well done. The Gort.
The Gort then.
1-3 for Ferrari.
And that will do them no worries whatsoever. The Gort comes home to take that final podium place. Rockatoni 4th. Hinkal 20 seconds behind Rockatoni there. As we see, Spark Bobster, has he made any inroads in catching Zippo?
No, he's on his own. Now. The question is how the penalties are all going to affect us.
Absolutely, but Heemkarl comes across the line, and he's going to take 5th place on track.
I think Pranker might be having a trip to the stewards with that incident he had with Chelsea boy.
Well, for now, he's got P6, finishes on track here, and Rocket Queen finishes in 7th, Invader Zippo 8th, and Spot Bobster jumped a few positions there. But what we can say for now, though, is that Darren Sinclair wins this race.
Fantastic race. Darren Sinclair won it with dominance.
Absolutely. He made that one-stop work really, really well there.
Very much so.
There he is. Speak of the devil. Ferrari will be very happy with this performance. It pulls them right back into that constructors' hunt. And for Darren Sinclair, a much-needed win.
Could we be looking at these two going all the way to Abu Dhabi for the championship fight?
Absolutely. Well, Dan Sinclair's made a valuable inroad with a good set of points there. But AJ, you can see
looks happy
towards the end of the race. Yeah, very happy. Happy to settle for 2nd place. As Darren Sinclair then, for your official, unofficial results, finishes at the top. AJ is in 2nd, the Gort in 3rd, Rocketoni 4th, Heemkarl 5th, Pranker in 6th, Spark Bobster 7th, Rocket Queen 8th, Invader Zippo 9th, Chelsea Boy in 10th, White Sounder 11th, Malachi 12th, Orchard David 13th, and a bunch of wheel drivers there.
These are all into the non-finishers right here, from 13 down and non-finishers.
Absolutely. Well, what a race that was, Jack.
Most certainly was. And I gotta say, driver of the day, I'd give it to Orchid. Even though he crashed out, he performed really well.
Absolutely. Well, qualifying 5th on the grid there, I think mine's going to go to AJ. Kept a solid head out there and really did perform really well out there.
Well, it's to AJ, the Spanish driver. Well, is he Spanish or is he British?
Oh, he's British. He's just
the flag changed to Spanish there. For some strange reason, the timer's gone down and we've still got a timer going down.
It's because it changed host, that's why.
Okay.
But,
so
we'll head back to the lobby and we'll see if we can talk to a couple of drivers. We'll see if we can get a couple of drivers in to have a word with.
I think that'll be interesting to see how they did it.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get a couple of people in here.
That goes that.
So, how was that race for you then, Jack?
I think that was thoroughly entertaining. I just needed to wake up through half of it.
Absolutely. A couple of coffees.
Absolutely. You always say that whenever I say something.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant stuff.
It was a good race and I'd be happy to come back and do something else. I believe next time is Spa, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes.
Oh, my favourite track of them all. I might have to pop round if you guys will have me again.
I would see no trouble in having you again, absolutely.
See, he wants to have me, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, well. We can only dream. But no, that was a good race. A commanding victory, though, by Darren Sinclair. Have you sent out some invites to get someone in the party?
Yeah, I'm just sending them out just now, and we'll see if people would like to join us.
Be nice to have a chat with them.
Absolutely. If you're still watching the YouTube live stream, why don't you comment your moment of the race then?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one to see what people liked in the race. Obviously, we missed a few overtakes, mainly because I was half asleep before we started the stream. I'm gonna have to have a coffee next time and make sure that I know what I'm on about.
Absolutely. Well, I've seen now. Darren Sinclair unfortunately won't be able to join us in the party. I've sent one to AJ and to the Gort, the podium finishers, and we'll see if they want to join.
I think I do think that prankster move, the double move, or the latest move in the DR towards there, I think that will be looked at by the stewards because it caused damage to a car, and I think that just needs to be looked at a little bit. Just reminded that you can't always make those moves.
Absolutely, but in terms of racing out there, we saw a good amount of it.
It was a class race. It really was. It did show what difference. You know what? Because I'm host, I'm going to put it on the Spa so we can see what it would look like next week. Don't know why. I don't know. No, we saw it was very much of a class race. It did feel like the top 4 sort of just disappeared away, and then the rest of them were just climatized. It was like LMP1 versus GT is my favourite saying right now. Those guys rocketed away versus the other guys who were scrapping.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all that means is then for the live stream, and we'll give it a couple of minutes before the live stream ends to see if we can get any drivers in here. I don't think we're going to have too much luck. But,
no, I don't think we will.
In any case, though, for the edited version, we just have to do an outro, Jack. So, well, round 12 is in Belgium, and, well, I hope to see you back in this commentary box next week, then.
I would gladly rejoin you.
Fantastic. Well, all that remains is to say then, until Belgium, I've been Kieran McGinley.
And I've been Jack Bishop.
And until Belgium, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Excellent stuff.
All right, we'll cut the stream in a minute. Just want to say thank you for people who watched it on my channel, and apology for the fact that I am goddamn useless at comms today. Fucking hell. Oh, man. Right. I'll wake up eventually.
Ah, well.
All right. Right, just going to say ta-ra to my stream. Ta-ra, guys.